Hello, good evening, and a warm welcome to Let's Talk Sports. Well, first of all, let me thank you all for the love, for the blessings, for the support. I'm fit and fine now. Well, last Saturday's episode, I really missed it. I had a small health scare, not COVID, obviously. I'm COVID negative, by the way. I did test it, and it was a little bit scary for my parents, also for my family. All of a sudden I was not well, and then I had to miss Saturday's Let's Talk Sports, which I planned it. And yes, I'm not that fine as of now, but I'm trying to be fit and fine because when I talk sports, I'm always fine. When I speak with people associated with sports, I feel good. So I'm here back again, and thank you all for the love and the blessings. It means a lot to me, and I cannot express it in words what it means to me. Thank you once again. So I welcome you all to Let's Talk Sports. Let's Talk Sports. Today we shall be having a wonderful session, I guess, because in this live session I will be talking about sports medicine, something which is quite essential in this competitive world. And sports is not about just having a coach and you go out to your stadium, you train with your coach, and it's not just that. Modern sports, professional sports requires a lot of support, and a lot of support should be there from your sports nutritionist, from your sports scientist, and obviously you need a support from your sports doctor. So today we shall be discussing that, and I'm going to invite somebody who is associated with this profession for quite some time now. When it comes to sports medicine in Assam and the Northeast, I guess just one name pops out, and that's Dr. Dipankar Bhattacharyya. He's someone, don't mistake him with our Olympian shuttler. He's the guest for this live session is Dr. Dipankar Bhattacharyya. He's a sports medicine specialist. So let me send a request to him, and let me request him to be live in the session today. Dr. Dipankar Bhattacharyya. So let me check if he's available at the moment. By the time you can send in your questions, and feel free to ask whatever you want, and do also let me know that what kind of issues you want me to take up, so that yes, I have a message from Afghanistan. Sayer Zalan, hello ma'am, how are you? Hi Sayer, how are you? Thank you so much for joining in. And we are doing good. I'm doing good, fine. IPL has started. I know you're a big fan of Shah Rukh Khan's Kolkata Knight Riders. So I hope you're watching this. I hope you're doing fine, and everyone back home in Afghanistan is doing fine. So Dr. Dipankar Bhattacharyya is waving at me, and let me just connect with him now. I have already added you. So let me check if he's able to approve it. So this is one subject, I guess it's very important, and we need to talk about this. We need our parents to know about this, because their children who are practicing and wants to take up sports as a profession, it's very important for those parents to understand what is sports medicine. Okay, Sayer Zalan, thank you. He says, I'm watching from Germany. Thank you so much. And I hope you're having a wonderful time in Germany. And yes, we in India, we are busy with all our sporting activities and are waiting for other sporting activities to begin. Approve. So can't wait more to have a quick conversation with my guest this evening. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm getting so much of questions from all of you. It feels good to see so many people connecting and asking questions and appreciating my work. That feels amazing, and it's kind of a huge morale boost for, a sports journalist like me, who's basically covering Olympic sports and obviously cricket, women cricket of late, because these women cricketers, they are doing wonderfully well, and you know they are so professional nowadays that you cannot make it out whether you're watching a domestic match or a T20 international match. I'm trying to add again Dr. Dipankar Bhattacharya for the live session, and we shall be discussing sports medicine, because this, I feel, a lot of parents came up to me and said, this is one topic which I really need to take it up, because this is something which is really, really, really important. Bharat Purohit is watching. Hi Bharat, how are you doing? I hope you all are staying positive, obviously COVID negative, staying safe, and taking care of yourself and your family. There you are. Good evening. Hello and welcome to the live session. Let's talk sports. Hi.
Good evening, Prarthana. I'm very sorry, but I could connect just now only.
It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. It's technology.
I didn't know that.
It's technology,
you
and at
had
times
some
it
problem.
fails.
I didn't know that, but I hope you are fine now, and I wish you speedy recovery. If anything.
I'm always fine when I talk sports, and when I'm passionately attached to sports. Yes, I had a health scare last week, all of a sudden, and then last session I had to miss the last session, and it was really sad. My family got really they felt helpless. What happened all of a sudden. But how do I look today? So let's start. If I may ask you, from a layman's point of view, yeah, thank you. Yes, I can. You're audible. So from a layman's point of view, what is sports medicine?
Okay, this sports medicine, if we say, I mean, from say layman's point of view, it is the science and medicine medicine and science of health, fitness, and sport. That is sports medicine. So it looks after the health of an athlete, and then all the athletes' health and their performance aspect. It looks after, and not only the sports person, but also for the general population's health as well. It looks after. So the medicine and science of health, fitness, and sports is known as sports medicine. And Prathana, as you know, this sports medicine is not a new subject. It is very old, as old as medicine itself. If you go back in the history, the past, you see that Herodotus, the father of Hippocrates, Hippocrates is the father of medicine, and Herodotus used to advise his patients with fever to run so that he can sweat and fever goes off. So that is, it has started from that 700 BC. From that area. So it has come up to these days. And now sports medicine is such a subject that, always attest to the sports performance, and it cannot be, we cannot leave it. I mean, we have to keep it always along the performance line.
You mean to say it's an integral part of sports, right? It's an integral part of a professional sports person. Right.
Yeah, going back to history, I just want to mention one point, that Hippocrates, he didn't believe his gurus that run for fever, that he didn't believe, but he believed that this exercise helps a lot for health. It gives the positive effects on health. That he believed, and from that angle, from that status, it has reached to this modern sports medicine nowadays. And if you see that what it does, sports medicine, what are the benefits one can get out of the sports medicine. So in very short, I would like to tell you that, you know, sports medicine treats the injuries of sports person and as well as illnesses. And, you know, it prevents the injuries from happening or illness from happening. And
Okay.
prevention, as you know, it's very important part for the sports person. Suppose a sports person is injured, and once he is injured, you know, he will lose the time for training he will lose because he has to take some rest. So
Yes.
if he can prevent, he can gain the timing and he can put that into his training session and he can perform better, and he got more time for preparation. So
Right.
we have to prevent the injury, prevent the illnesses to keep fit. So sports medicine helps in that. I mean, in providing this, preventing these
Injuries
injuries and
for a sports
illnesses.
person. But you've given a wonderful briefing of.
Pre-season medical examination, which is a, yeah,
Yes.
uh,
Yes, you
pardon?
have given a wonderful
Uh,
briefing as to what is sports science. I mean, what is sports medicine. But again, from a layman's point of view, suppose XYZ has a 12-year-old boy who is practicing, say, tennis or cricket or badminton. For
okay.
that person's parents, how would you convince them and say that sports medicine is an integral part of sports, especially now it is not about only being passionate about sports or playing cricket or playing badminton or volleyball or any other sport. It is all about power game now. So you may have a lot of injuries, knee injuries, elbow injuries. So where do you go? How do you convince these people that sports medicine is one of the integral part of a professional sports person's life?
Yes. Yeah. Preparation for any sports is very important, and preparation and prevention of this are very important. And so, I mean, first of all, one has to prepare his body and mind for that particular sport, and for that he has to take up so many things like right training and to the nutrition part, other part. Actually, I have to let me finish the, I mean, say, what are the aims of sports medicine? I have some more points
Yeah.
to tell you. Only the first point I have touched, that is the prevention of illness and injuries by
Hmm.
the athletes. That is
Right.
important. And this while on prevention, I would like to cite an example what FIFA does for
Hmm.
its footballers.
Right.
FIFA has a warming up program that is of core body muscles, and that is called FIFA 11 plus. FIFA 11 plus is a warming up program, and if a footballer does it at least 2 to 4 times or 2 to 5 times a week before the training or competition,
Hmm.
and what happens, 30 to 37% of the sports injuries are reduced. It is seen, it is proved. So that is the first good aspect of sports medicine, and FIFA has also applied this in the practical aspect of preventing football injuries. And
Hmm.
my second point was that pre-season examination of an athlete is very important.
Hmm.
That is to prevent injury,
Hmm.
again illnesses, and to see how much fit he is,
Hmm.
how much he can cope with his particular sports, say athletics or football or cricket.
Hmm.
I mean, see, so pre-season medical examination is important. And I will come to the talent spotting later on. And then pre-competition medical examination, like where we do in football, we do in boxing, we do in
Yeah.
weightlifting.
Yeah.
We do the pre-competition medical checkup, and that is also important to, so to prevent injuries and other things. And then post-competition medical examination is very recover. How he recovers, how a sports
Hmm.
person after a training session or competition he recovers,
Hmm.
and what to take, what not to take, and how to cool down. And these are the aspects which
Yeah.
we have to monitor, and the sports medicine helps the athlete in doing this. And then,
Mm.
uh, you see, sports medicine is investigative. It investigates the performance potential of all the systems of the body, like muscles, like other what how the muscles work, what is the capacity of the muscles. This way, it can
Mm.
evaluate the potential performer. I mean, say, as you know, the medicine looks after the body very well. It
Mm.
analyzes it biochemically,
Mm.
physically, mentally. So,
Yes.
so this sports medicine evaluates the body, evaluates the performance potential. It investigates if there is a lack in the body, deficiency, and accordingly it manages. And then comes the talent spotting. It helps in talent spotting. So for any particular sport, I mean, the different sports, different kind of anatomy is required, physiology is required, different type of
Right.
food is required. So these are the things that is a necessity for a sports person to go about. So I mean, these are well looked after the sports medicine. This is very important. And then, how the lifestyle of a sports person should be. So, I mean, how he would train without getting fatigued,
Mm.
what should be taken before competition, after competition, how
Mm.
much rest he has to take, and so these are the kind of requirement a sports person have, and sports medicine looks after these also. And then, another very important thing is, say, a sports person train very hard training, and the body
Mm.
is pushed to the threshold level, and
Right.
that if he crosses the threshold level, if the overload is there, then he will break down. So that should never happen. And this and besides that, I want to tell you that another important aspect is the clean sport. As you all know, this doping is an very doping is having very bad effects on the sports field. It is spoiling the image of sports. It's spoiling
Yes.
the image of
It
a
is.
country. And then yeah, and then it helps in sports medicine helps in anti-doping activities,
Right.
building awareness, and it across the state and the country. So anti-doping activity is another important part which it does. And
So for
lastly,
uh,
for
uh,
sports medicine, I would.
if I may ask you,
Hmm.
what if an athlete or a sports person, if he or she is injured, will they go to a normal medicine doctor or to a sports medicine specialist? Because that there's a huge confusion among parents. Why do we need? Because they can literally go to any other specialist then to attend a sports medicine specialist. So for those people, how would you explain this to them that an athlete really needs more attention, more specialist than going to a normal medicine doctor or any other doctor?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Very relevant question. This, first of all, I would like to apprise you that we as a community, as a sports medicine specialist, we are very few in our country even at this moment.
Hmm. Hmm.
But if a sports person can straightway go to a sports medicine doctor initially, his recovery will be, I mean, say, faster. His
Hmm.
recovery will be faster and he'll be guided accordingly. But, since we do not have sufficient, I mean, sports medicine specialists, so we have to go to general doctor. But the
Okay.
general doctor should have some knowledge of a particular sports, and how to prevent it, or how to treat it initially, and
Hmm.
without taking it to any other complication. And then,
Hmm.
if necessary, he can consult a sports medicine doctor known to him. And
Okay.
that's why we want that sports medicine is a subject that should be incorporated in the medical colleges and sports universities. and then so that I mean people know it and the doctors also learn it.
Learn
At
it, and
least
obviously
to
the
their
athletes
benefit.
also benefited, and the athletes also benefited.
Yeah, that will be benefit. But
Yeah,
then now, I mean, if you see at the our strength sports medicine specialist, I mean, it is very difficult to get. So,
yeah,
I mean, sufficient. So one has to go to a doctor, and
yeah.
I think nowadays it is not very tough to having knowledge on sports medicine. I think doctors can do it, have some knowledge on it, and
Hmm,
apply
hmm,
it to the athlete.
hmm.
And wherever necessary, it can be referred to a sports medicine specialist.
Right. So, but at a time when our state government, the state machineries, they're shouting, and over Assam or Guwahati being the sports capital of India, but to my utter surprise, how many sports medicine specialists, how many sports nutritionists, how many sports scientists do we have in Guwahati? Forget about the rest of Assam, different districts of Assam. I'm talking about Guwahati. How many experts do we have? I mean, I know as a journalist, we have different academies in Guwahati. We have badminton academy. We have a lot of academies going on. But do we have a sports medicine specialist? No, we do not have. To my utter surprise, I want to just give you an example. Uh, Players get injured. I'm talking about badminton. I met a few badminton players, very young people. They got injured, very minor injuries, but they do not know where to go. They came up to my one of my they came up to my husband, and since my husband is also a badminton coach, and started asking, "Sir, where do we go? We need to go for a physiotherapy." But I believe, physiotherapy for sports person is completely different than non-athletes, isn't it? But this is the sorry state of affairs. I mean, you have been working in this profession for quite some time now, because the first name that pops out whenever I talk about sports medicine, obviously Dr. Dipankar Bhattacharya. Why do we think there is not an awareness? I mean, this is a time when we talk about, we give big promises. We talk about Olympics, we talk about Asian Games, we talk about Hima Das's success, we talk about Lovelina's success, we talk about Rian Porag, but we do not have certain facilities available. Where is the problem?
Actually, yes, this is the problem. This is where we are lacking. We have done. I will tell you. We are two sports medicine doctors in Guwahati. That is, sports medicine in India have started in '86 in Punjabi University, Patiala, and I was in the second batch. And in the first batch, Dr. Utpal Sharma, he has done sports medicine, and I did in '87, '88. So I have done that, and thereafter after coming back from 90 to 2000, all along, I have been trying to make awareness, I mean, across Assam, right from the, Tinsukia, Dibrugarh to Bongaigaon. And I have done many seminars, I mean, trying to build awareness. And I wanted to motivate our doctors to do
Hmm.
sports medicine. So, I mean, that time, I mean, my saying was that sports medicine is coming up. It will
Hmm.
be, I mean, say, a subject where you can depend, I mean, say, you can have your, I mean, run, I
You can
mean,
have
you
a great
can, like,
career.
you
Yeah.
can, yeah, yes,
Yeah.
right. You can
Hmm.
make your career
Hmm.
with that, like that. But of course, till now, I haven't found one doing that. But probably due to lack of interest, or I mean, say, uncertainty prevails I mean,
Hmm.
about the career. But then another thing I tried to do right from 90s, then I approached our government. I
Hmm.
approached the government with project that to make a sports medicine and sports science center for upliftment of sports in Assam. And
Hmm.
I have given, I think, till 2000, 2005 or 2010, I have given 3, 4 proposals. But then it's still now, I mean, Chief Minister is doing the very right thing, opening up the sports university,
Hmm.
opening up many, many scientific centers. Now it's scenarios are somewhat changing, but I have been trying it right from the 90s. And then uh, this thing, these are the things for which I mean, we are yet to cope with the high performance sports, and that I mean, we are not getting the that much in betterment of in performance because of lacking of this sports science effect. And another thing I would like to tell you, that sports medicine alone cannot do the, I mean, cannot improve the sports performance. It's a
Right.
teamwork. We
Right.
are support staff only, and with
Hmm.
sports medicine, there will be sports physiologist, a
Right.
sports biomechanist,
Hmm.
sports trainer, then sports physiotherapist, nutrition.
Hmm.
It's a complete team, and
Right.
psychology. So it's a complete team working with the coach
Hmm.
and trying to improve the sports performance. And
Hmm.
now gradually we are having the specialist. If sports medicine specialist is lacking, but the other specialists are coming up. I mean,
Hmm.
I think we can have a platform, and I mean common platform where we can interact and I mean work on the athletes' performance, high performance level. So that now is the time to
Think about it.
go on from here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you, my previous live sessions, I have done one with sports scientist Durva Vahia. She is associated with the Tata Football Academy, then the Tata Archery Academy. She spoke fantastically well. She spoke, like you said, it's a teamwork. And then I had an opportunity to do a live session with another wonderful lady, Richa Verma. She's a sports nutritionist. But the fact is that, like you mentioned, Chief Minister has come up with good infrastructure. But do you think only an infrastructure can help an athlete without this basic important department missing? Like you said, from
No, for the
2005 to 2010, you have been working and you have been submitting reports that, you need certain things for the upliftment of the sports persons and their athletes. These are some of the basic things which are really, really required. These are not luxurious things. These are required to enhance the performance of our athletes who has immense talents. There is no dearth of talent because I work on the field. I get to meet so many athletes from the grassroots level to the Olympians. You get a sense of the talents that's available in Assam and the Northeast. But the only point is that I get calls from Dibrugarh, from Kokrajhar after the live sessions that বাইদেউ আমার ইমান ট্যালেন্ট আছে কিন্তু আমাৰ তাত নিউট্ৰিশনিষ্ট নাই আমি অকল এজন কোচেনো কেনেকে আগবঢ়াই নিম দিস ইজ হাউ দে ফিল they feel frustrated at times. And this is frustrating for me as well as a sports journalist because when I went to Australia for the Commonwealth Games coverage, for different international meets, where I meet so many support team people. You get to meet the sports psychologists, sports therapists, you just name it, and the team has everyone. But to my utter
you're
surprise,
right.
our team India, during the weightlifting, when Sanjita Chanu and Vikas Thakur, they were winning in Gold Coast Commonwealth Games 2018, there were not a physiotherapist available. There were not a sports doctor available. But there were people from, the association who were just roaming around with their family, enjoying the atmosphere with the government money. So this is the sorry state of affairs. When can we expect a change then?
Yeah, definitely. This is a yes. This is a site that has to be taken into very seriously as a team. And I do fully agree that only infrastructure won't do the improvement of performance. But for operation, we need a teamwork, very efficient teamwork, and whatever resources we have to apply. I mean, we have to start applying it
Hmm.
combined way. Then only we can improve our performance. You have very rightly pointed out.
Yes. Well, at times it is so frustrating to see because we are food soldiers, we as journalists, we get to meet these people. They're so talented. I mean, there's no dearth of talent. You just don't have to, build huge stadiums. What you need is just try to understand what is the need of the hour. You need good psychologists, you need sports medicine. I get to meet so many people, like I said, when they are injured, they do not even know where to go because they do not know these particular concept of a sports medicine or a sports specialist or a sports nutritionist. Where do they go? So I thought of having this session with you so that, there has to be an awareness among people whose children, they've started training to be a professional player, be it cricket, be it football, be it tennis, be it badminton. You know how much difficult it is nowadays because it is all about, power game. The passion is there, but there has to be some amount of, absolute power associated with sports today. Tell us something about your experience as a sports medicine specialist. You've done since 80s you are associated with this profession. So how do you see the future of sports medicine in Assam?
Yeah, I'm very much optimistic. Like now in India, sports medicine as a specialty has been taken very well by the public, by the the state associations and the sports associations, and it is coming up. Like say, Sai is taking some steps, and then different private organizations, private institutions, they have opened
Hmm.
up MD sports medicine, then the diploma sports medicine. So this way it is coming up. So I am very optimistic that in Assam too, I mean very soon the whole scenario would be changed. Recently, Sports Authority of Assam, Sports Authority of Assam, they have organized one webinar regarding the improvement of performance, and gave a common platform where I was also there and opined that we should use this kind of platform and take it to the practical level and work with the sports person to be improved. I mean, these are the some few steps that government and public sectors, say, they have taken up. It's coming up. It's not that it won't
Hmm.
happen. It is happening. So I said I'm very optimistic, and I have been there for from 90, and I have seen
Hmm.
many states, many games, many say I worked in some international sports also. So I've seen, as you have said, that the teams accompanied by complete support staff of sports medicine specialists and other sports physiologists, trainer, psychologists. They are a full team, and we are none.
Yes.
I mean, we have only one or two, one doctor, that to general, maybe general doesn't matter,
Yeah.
but then no one physiotherapist, no psychologist, no nutritionist. Like one example, I just want to tell you that Hima, when she was preparing for Asiad,
Right.
after getting the medal in that juniors. So
Hmm.
she once Mr. Nippon just told me just that she had some problem in having a diet, that she wants to talk to you. That she rang me up from there, and then
Yeah.
after a thorough discussion, I found out that the
Hmm.
recovery food, that the
Hmm.
recovery diet was lacking in some aspect, and I just gave a touch up, and she said she felt better. So
Okay.
that way, small things, if we look into, then definitely our athletes will improve. Yes, exactly, there is no dearth of talent,
Hmm.
say in Assam, right from Bhogeshwar. There are some other athletes also who, after proper, talent search and after proper training, they will come up. So we should try being together, and especially I request your journalist fraternity to stress onto this aspect of sports medicine and science to come up, and so that we can work together. I'm very open, and I invite all the sports scientists, sports operators. Let us be together, work for one cause, one noble cause, that is to improve the sports performance of Assam and aiding to India's sports performance, ultimately having medal in the Olympics.
Yeah, that's the reason I have chosen these kind of topics, starting from sports medicine, sports nutrition, sports scientists, because I feel in today's world it is very important. Like other states, Haryana, and in fact, last Khelo India, I saw Gujarat team doing very well because Gujarat, at some point in time, they were zero in sports, but now they have come up and they are doing very well in sports. That's the reason I
Yes.
want people in Assam to understand the importance of sports medicine. Why do we need a sports medicine specialist when you have a child going to stadium, training to be a professional player? What else can you add on it? Because you have spoken about the recovery time. Because I heard a lot of Olympian also when we talk during interviews, they talk about recovery period. Because the harder you train, but you have to check whether you have taken enough time out for your recovery, because body recovery is very important so that you can again resume a training the next day. So what's your take on that? How would you explain this?
Exactly, exactly. Body, all the human body or an athlete, uh, he has got some limits. And if one crosses the training limits of an individual, body breaks down. And if it happens, then performance will go down. So we have to prevent overloading
Hmm.
the athlete. So training should be optimal. So how do you measure it? By simple math, how do you measure it? You just ask the athlete in the morning when he wakes up, how does he feel? If he's feel energetic, if he's feel fatigued. So if say if he's fatigued, that means he's not recovered. If his
Hmm.
pulse rate is more, he is not recovered. So
Hmm.
this kind of thing. And an athlete should be optimally trained, and you then talk to the coach and reduce
Hmm.
the workload, training load, and adjust and see again. So that way you can improve. And once physiological capacities can be measured in the lab by our field test, so accordingly everybody's limits are individual. So individualize the training. You reduce
You're
the
right.
training, individualize the training, and guide him accordingly. So that way,
Hmm.
you can bring the best out of the athlete. So that is, I
So
think, what you
recovery
have
is
asked.
very important. Yes. So
Yeah,
recovery period is very important.
recovery thing. You have to monitor this way. Yes,
Right. And who
be
will
very
monitor
strict.
all these things? Who will monitor the recovery period, whether your body has recovered or not? Who is going to monitor this for
Uh,
an athlete?
Immediate coach is always attached to an athlete.
Hmm?
Coach. So coach will, he will initiate the, and he will take the help of sports medicine doctor wherever required. So coach and doctor together can settle this. And of
All
course,
right.
trainer has to be there, and he may be deficient in nutrition also. In
Hmm.
case of requirement, then we will discuss with the nutritionist as well.
Okay. So like you mentioned,
That
it
way,
has to be a team effort. It's a team effort.
absolute, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
only a coach, a hardly dedicated coach can never make a great sports person in today's world, in competitive world. When you need to compete with the Chinese athletes and the American athletes, it's very important for the Indian athletes to understand, especially the ones who are in Assam training hard. They have to understand the aspect of having a good nutritionist, a sports medicine specialist, because these are all attached to each other. On that note, Dipankar Bhattacharya, thank you so much for giving us your thoughts and joining me in this live session. It was short, it was crisp, it was very, very informative for me as a journalist because I learned a lot. And I hope my friends, Facebook friends, they learned a lot. And my always aim is to make people aware of what is happening. Taking an interview of an athlete is important, but what is more important is to make people aware that you need a proper methodology, an entire team that can make your son or your daughter a champion in today's world. Thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. And on
Thank you.
that note, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'll be back again with another live session on Let's Talk Sports We shall talk sports, we shall connect with each other, and thank you so much for the love, for the blessings and your support. Thank you.